So, Chris, seemingly out of nowhere, we got an update trailer for Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, I say out of nowhere, but they're almost always out of nowhere. I never expect them, but I should be at this point, because every season, if not every few months, there is a new update for Animal Crossing, and this time we are getting the winter update, which starts on November 19th, and it's adding a ton of stuff, it looks like. We're getting Turkey Day, Toy Day, new reactions to hairstyles, a home storage upgrade. You can apparently now visit random islands in dreams, which I don't think was in the trailer, but I'm saying it here because it's in the press release. You're also getting the ability, finally, to transfer your save data. My God, we've been waiting for this forever. So that's going to be hype for a lot of people, or at least the people still playing the game at this point. So Chris, before we get into the nitty-gritty here, what is just your overall take on the trailer? Like, does this make you excited to return to Animal Crossing if you haven't already been playing it daily still, or what's your overall take on this?
Honestly, I am so excited about this because I played Animal Crossing pretty much every day, I think for the first few months that the game was out. But like most people, I think I sort of dropped off with it for a little while. But I have been looking forward to this time of year, seeing it in New Horizons for so long. Just the holiday aesthetic and the Thanksgiving and winter themes and everything. And this is totally living up to my expectations. And yeah, sort of like you said, like I didn't see this coming at all, and I totally should have because, yeah, it pretty much is that time of year.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's like next week.
I know, right? Yeah. But no, this is super exciting, and I think there's a lot of really cool stuff here.
Yeah, it just looks really cute. I mean, that's the thing about Animal Crossing. Everything it does is pretty much cute across the board, and Turkey Day and Toy Day, as they're calling it, obviously. Yep. Actually, I should say, yeah, so Turkey Day is obviously the replacement for Thanksgiving. Toy Day is obviously the fill-in for Christmas. They both pretty much land on their respective days, and they both look adorable. Like, I'm getting, for whatever reason, it's probably just my nostalgia, but the Christmas season, or toy season in particular, really reminds me of the GameCube version of Animal Crossing, and I love that. Like, it just looks so different with snow everywhere. You got decorations in the trees. It's just really cute, and especially with how you can shake the trees now to drop Christmas ornaments, or what was it specifically they said? I guess that was it, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's so fun.
It's just a fun little way of including Christmas essentially into the idea of Animal Crossing. It's trees normally drop fruit, but hey, here's a Christmas ornament now. So,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're even adding like Christmas lights to the trees too. Like it's not just snow and the look of it, but like they're just adding extra decorations and everything. It's just so festive. It's so much fun.
I think that's really it. Like one of the scenes takes place at night, or actually most of the scenes even, and for the toy season, and it just looks like it comes to life at night. In fact, there's even a scene where you see the lights come on. So I wonder if that's like a time-related thing. Maybe it comes on at a certain time, which would be really neat. This actually reminds me a lot of Disneyland. How like that's when it really comes to life at night with all the lights lit up. And this is really going to bring a new life to your island, I feel like. And it's just going to feel like really festive. And I think this will absolutely pull me back to the game more so than any update previously.
Yeah, same here.
So we might have gotten a little ahead of ourselves because before Toy Day, we have Turkey Day, Chris, in which we apparently are going to help out Franklin by, I believe, gathering different ingredients. And then we give them to Franklin in the town plaza, and he will cook up all kinds of concoctions. Is there anything I missed in there?
No, I think that's pretty much it. And then I think if you're able to collect enough ingredients or help them out enough, they'll of course give you a gift at the end.
Yeah. So this is, I'm not sure fully what to think of this. Like, it's cute that there's something there, of course. I don't know if this one looks particularly unique or special, but then again, I don't know what else you could do for Thanksgiving beyond cooking. And hey, you know what? In these pandemic times, especially when a lot of parts of the country are going under a more extreme lockdown, this might be what we need. This might just be what we need. A nice, chill holiday season Animal Crossing. You can presumably invite your friends over, enjoy some of Franklin's, turkey dinner or whatever he. Actually, I hope Franklin's not cooking turkey. That'd be very disturbing. But whatever Franklin ends up cooking up, that might be a fun way to gather with your friends virtually for the day. So.
Yeah, totally. And I also think like the process of collecting ingredients and everything, I think that's that's pretty fun. We'll get to the Toy Day event in just a second, but I think what they're able to do with that, I think, is a little more interesting and exciting. But you're right, like, what exactly do you do with Thanksgiving? Because there's not really, exactly an event associated with that.
Right.
Like, this is sort of similar to, I think, the main holiday that I've really participated in New Horizons thus far was Bunny Day. And it's sort of similar to that, like going and collecting eggs and then bringing them back. And I think it works. It works pretty well, but I do think that the way they're handling the event in the Toy Day celebration is more exciting and I think more in line with just kind of that fun holiday vibe.
Right. I mean, it's inherently a more fun day, so it's
Absolutely.
that kind of makes sense.
Bringing presents to people and everything. I think that's just going to be so charming and cute.
Yeah, that is a really cute idea. Real quick, one thing I do like about the Thanksgiving Day or Turkey Day is that it's actually making use of your pumpkins again, it seems, where we see in the trailer you're able to hand over the pumpkins you've grown yourself, I assume. And that's another just neat tie-in to do a new system that they recently introduced. All right, let's move back into the Toy Days. We already covered the general aesthetic of the season, but yeah, as you touched on, one of the big parts of this is on December 24th. You're actually going to help out, I believe it's Jingle, deliver presents to the town residents. And in the trailer, they're wearing this Santa outfit, and I assume that might be just part of the job. And yeah, all the residents seem thankful whenever you deliver a present. They're like, oh, a present from Santa? Oh, that's great, thanks.
Yeah.
And that's just a cute way of going about it. That perfectly fits the spirit of the season. Especially even doing it on on Christmas Eve, December 24th. That's when Santa comes, right? So
true.
That's just a cute way of incorporating a real life holiday into the game. Which, real quick, I'm so glad they're acknowledging the real life versions of these things, or they're based on real life events, because there was a period there, I think, at least for Wild World on DS, where they went with their own weird holiday schedule, and it sucked. It just wasn't. It was so lame. It's like they roughly correlated it to events in the real world at times, but not really. It was just weird. So I'm so glad that they're not that it's a brand new thing, but I'm glad that they do it again now. So.
Yeah, even though they're not outright calling them, the holidays that they are clearly based on, it's pretty clear that that's where the inspiration comes from.
Exactly. So it looks like you'll also be able to purchase gifts or toys from Nook's Cranny, and you'll also be able to find holiday-themed clothing at the Able Sisters shop, which I assume may be where the Santa outfit came from. I'm not sure if you buy that or that was given to you from Jingle.
Actually, it looks like all the villagers are wearing Santa hats, though.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
That must just be...
Yep.
I can't imagine that's through all of December, but that must be on the 24th.
But no one else is wearing the Santa vest except for Jingle.
That's true, actually.
So yeah. I wonder, could this be like a Santa Claus type scenario with Tim Allen, where we end up murdering Santa Claus by mistake? We have to assume this role. Jingle, what have you done?
Wait, so I do have a question, actually. Does Jingle take the role of Santa in this universe, or does Santa Claus also exist?
It seems that with the villagers actually calling you Santa, it seems that Santa does exist.
Right, okay.
So I don't think the villagers are assuming that you're Santa. It seems like they know Santa exists, because they do specifically thank him. And yeah,
right.
I'm just guessing. I'm guessing we just won't see Santa. So I think Jingle is the fill-in for Santa, as far as we're concerned as a player. So
cool.
Yeah. Any other thoughts about Toy Day that we haven't touched on yet, Chris?
Actually, well, sorry, I was just gonna say it sort of actually leans into the idea of giving gifts to your villagers, since that's a thing you can do in New Horizons, and it always just feels so good to do that. Just give them a gift, like on their birthday or just in general. And it's sort of just going all in with that idea, and I think that's just, I think that's really fun.
Yeah, again, it's a neat little crossover between the inherent mechanics of Animal Crossing to how the event works in real life. That's just a perfect match made in heaven, basically. Although, if it were me, I'd be opening up all those gifts myself. I'm like, screw you, sure. I want to see what Santa got you. I want to see what Santa got everyone. I'm keeping all for myself. So
honestly, there's so many gifts just lying around the island, too, just decorations too. There are so many presents.
Yep.
It's kind of insane.
It really is. There's a lot going on there. All right, moving on. We are also getting new reactions and hairstyles. There are apparently 9 new reactions. The trailer shows off, if not all of them, at least most of them, where you can sit down, there's a wave goodbye, there's a moment where you can work out or do yoga, and I like how they even put the Ring Fit ring in the background of that scene.
Very fitting.
And then there's a bunch of new hairstyles too, including, I think, the ability to just go bald.
Yeah.
And yeah, these look a little bit more just a little bit more interesting than a lot of the hairstyles we've already had. There's one even in there that like is reminding me of almost Princess Leia, like.
Yeah, true. The two kind of
the buns, yeah.
The buns, yeah.
Yeah, and then in addition, you can also so those are all purchasable via new I think apps or app upgrades at Nook's Cranny. But in addition to that, you can also buy a new home upgrade. They'll add a new home storage upgrade, I should say. They'll add 2,400 more inventory slots. Jesus,
yeah,
talk about
that is
hoarding.
Huge.
Yeah, that's a lot. I already struggle with the amount I can hold currently, and by that I haven't even filled it up completely. I cannot imagine managing 2,400 more inventory things. Like it's like at that point, come on, you're going overboard. Stop being a pack rat. Get rid of this. Get rid of some of that stuff.
I love how like instead of giving us better ways to organize all of our items, like having chests or anything like that, they're just giving us more space to just throw everything in.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's it. Yeah, I was actually hoping at first. I thought it might have been a true proper home upgrade. I'm like, oh, that'd be neat, like something new for people to work toward, because people have pretty much maxed out everything you do in the game. But no, just more storage. More, yeah. The irony is that you have more room to store all the crap that you have nowhere else to put. So, yeah.
Also, a quick clarification on the reactions and the new hairstyles. I think those are in the Nook stop.
Oh, got it. Thank you. Yes. Is that not? Oh, that's in residential services, right? Got it. Thank you for the correction there, Chris. Yeah, those are it's a fine line between those two at times, it seems.
A little confusing though. Nook's stop, Nook's Cranny.
Now, perhaps one of the biggest new updates, as I kind of touched on earlier, depending on your perspective, is the fact that you can now transfer your save data, specifically your island or resident data transfer. So, Chris, I believe you've done a whole update, or at least looked into this more. Can you give us a brief rundown on how exactly this is going to work?
Yeah, so basically the trailer basically says, hey, there's save data transfer, which will be available on the 19th, and that's great. There's actually two different ways, though, that you can transfer your save data. One is I forget what it's called, I guess it's just the full island transfer, where you're essentially just moving all of your data over to another Switch. It's pretty self-explanatory there. And then the other transfer method is, I think they call it the single-player transfer, where essentially if you are a resident of an island, so you have a home on someone else's island on their Switch, you can move your home and your items and your character to a different island, to a different Switch's island. So it's essentially like a smaller version of the island transfer, where you're just moving your little portion of the island to a different Switch. So I think that's a pretty cool little feature to have. And yeah, like you touched on, it's great that this feature is finally becoming available. And I think it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people who have been waiting for this sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that is kind of a bummer, I think, is that for a lot, I imagine, well, I don't want to say how many, but I imagine for a fair amount of people, there are people out there who've been playing the game who've wanted to do this for a while, and they're probably just burned out on the game, right? And probably just don't care anymore.
It's been so long.
It's been so long. We are basically 2/3 of a year. I mean, it's been 8 months since the game came out, so I think a fair amount of people probably got Switch Lite at some point, and then realized, oh, I can't transfer my island or character over, and never, and then just kind of lost interest. But maybe this will bring them back. Maybe this will, now that they can have their own island on their own system by moving their villager over, perhaps this will bring more people back to the game. Who knows? Maybe that was Nintendo's evil plan all along. Like, we'll get them back.
True.
But hey, it's a good thing regardless. A lot of people will be getting Animal Crossing for the holidays, I'm sure. So yeah, this is a very good thing. Although I wonder, would you need 2 separate copies of the game then? I guess you could still account share, and that would work? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
We may have to test this.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we may have to do some testing when this actually comes out. So
I do think it's cool, though, like around the holiday time for this to be happening. I mean, hopefully this isn't why they waited this long to introduce this feature, but if a family, for example, only has one Switch, and so you've got 3 or 4 houses or residents on that single island, and then maybe the family gets another Switch, or a family member gets another Switch for Christmas, then they can move their resident over to their own island and kind of start their own town from there. And I think that's a cool feature. And it sort of fits well around the holiday time, since I imagine a lot of family members are going to be getting new Switches around this time of year. Yeah,
based on the sales figures, I assume so.
Yeah.
Unless no one can just find them anymore. It's
true.
Sold out. Yeah, so I think that covers the broad strokes of the update. Is there anything we missed in there, Chris?
That is pretty much it. Nintendo also shared a press release, I think it was, or just some more information about it. And where they also announced, they didn't show this in the trailer, but they also announced a quick collaboration with Pocket Camp to celebrate that game's 3rd year anniversary, where essentially in New Horizons you can, I guess, have a smartphone model for your Nook phone, or maybe it's just a prop that you can display, which will essentially have Pocket Camp on it. So that's a fun little thing.
Yeah, that's not bad. They also added the ability to visit random islands now in dreams.
Yes,
so when
that's
you go,
right.
Yeah, so you can just, I guess if you don't enter a code, you can just go visit a random island, which is, I think that's pretty handy. That's something that's a feature, or that's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's along the lines of, like, I felt like there should have been a way to have like a catalog of islands to visit, and this is closer to what I wanted initially. So this is probably a good thing to add.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just go check out random people's islands, see what they're up to, and see how pathetic your own island is by comparison.
Yeah. Although if you'll be randomly selecting from just all of the islands that exist out there, well, it'll be interesting to see what you find. Like if you'll find any islands that are just like totally empty, just not much going on, or if you'll see just like the craziest islands. It'll be kind of fun to just have it randomized.
You're going to show up on an island and Tom Nook is going to be giving the announcement, a body has been found. And you're like, oh my God,
man.
what have I done? It's more of a nightmare than a dream.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I think that covers most of it. There's just one other tiny detail I wanted to mention, and that's the fact that apparently, according to the press release, I guess throughout the course of December, the island will become more and more festive, or at least that's what it seems like. And if that's the case, like if things are added to it as you get closer to Toy Day, I think that's really cute. So
I did not notice that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a neat little detail. So Chris, any final thoughts about anything involving this update, whether it be Turkey Day, Toy Day, or anything else?
Not really. I mean, look, like I said in the beginning, I haven't played a whole lot of New Horizons since I dropped off from the game after playing it nonstop when it first came out. But if there's anything that's going to get me back into it, this update is going to be it. And I'm pretty sure that I'll be playing a lot more New Horizons in the next couple months. And I am super excited about that. I kind of miss it, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I do too. I played it again a couple weeks ago for Halloween, and there's something about the Christmas season that, I mean, inherently I think that's just really inviting, as one might expect, and just really festive. And for whatever, and I say for whatever reason, I know why. I've often associated Animal Crossing with like Christmas and December, and that's because this game came out on the GameCube originally in December. If I remember correctly. And so that was one of the first seasons that I experienced, and I imagine many people experienced, those old enough to have played it at the time. And so I'm actually really excited to drop back in Animal Crossing during the season in which I'm most associated with. And I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think what's really fun, I think, is the end of the year is is it just a string of holidays, and that's fun to partake in Animal Crossing as well. You've got Halloween, Turkey Day, Toy Day, along with all the with the fairly significant seasonal changes, which feel larger to me than going from like spring to summer, right? So it feels like we started in the longest stretch of non-eventfulness, and now only nearly a year after the game came out are we finally hitting the real interesting stretch of gameplay.
Yeah. It came out in March. Like, that is the most uneventful time of the year. I mean, it worked out really well in 2020's case, just with everything that was going on. A lot of people had a lot of time to play this game, but yeah, the holidays are kind of it's not what Animal Crossing's all about, but it's always been a huge part of just enjoying the atmosphere and the aesthetic of these games, and just having fun around the holiday time. And like you said, back-to-back holidays this time of year, and it's a really exciting time. So I hope that I'll get back into it, but I also hope like anyone else who's not played the game as much recently can get back into it, because I think there's a lot of really exciting stuff in store for New Horizons.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think that, as you kind of touched on a moment ago, like this game came out at the perfect time during the pandemic. It kind of is existing again at the perfect time, because we're hitting second and third waves in North America, at least. Like, this is a great time to meet up with for instance, myself, I had a flight booked. Like, I'd done a lot of research. I'm like, okay, flights seem relatively safe. So I had a flight booked to go visit my parents for Thanksgiving and possibly Christmas as well. And after I saw like the cases skyrocketing, I'm like, nope, I'm not going. So I just couldn't take the risk of catching it at the airport and passing it on to my parents or something at their age. So now that we have Animal Crossing, like this might be the time for this might help bring families together again, or at least people that people and their friends. And yeah, like I might be hanging out with my mom now on Thanksgiving virtually in Animal Crossing rather than in real life.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
again, that is yeah. Sorry, that's one last thing I just remembered. There will actually be a New Year's countdown too in the game.
Oh yeah, they haven't announced that yet, right?
I think they did. It was in the press release, I think. Yeah, in addition to the update content, you can look forward to a countdown event starting at 7 p.m. on December 31st.
Oh, you're right. I totally overlooked that.
I totally forgot about that until you mentioned that, like coming together with your mom and playing together. Like I think that's the perfect chance to bring people together for that event. I think that'll be fun.
That really is. Yeah, that's really cool. That's always been. I always enjoy the New Year's countdowns in Animal Crossing. I remember the first one on GameCube still, and yeah, it'll be fun to do it now online. I'll probably be streaming it. I imagine I'll be streaming all 3 of these holidays. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere, so might as well. All right, Chris, anything else, or are we about done here?
I think that about wraps it up.
All right, everyone. Well, that's our discussion of the winter update coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing that bell for more on Animal Crossing New Horizons, including those upcoming streams I mentioned, and everything else on Nintendo as well. We'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.